Warrior class.
Where the teachers whip ass.
And you will too if you pass.
Sorry for being so late. We had to get a code to sign in and all that jive.
It's Belay's fault, basically.
Shy,
22 minutes. You never been this late before.
never.
A magical number in numerology. I know that's shea butterish.
It's,
You fighting traffic over there, boy? Hear the police chasing you. You doing everything to get to the house.
man, I'm traffic with my family.
Tell
So,
EOS quit laying on the horn like that. We trying
yeah, so
No, that's not me.
it's not her. So, um, I'm trying to get stable. Once I get stable, then I'm good.
Okay, all right.
So, what's going on with you all?
Uh, I'm upset. I missed the Malcolm X festival, man. I forgot this year. Totally slipped by. I feel like they didn't promote it.
Well, I couldn't have gone, but that's terrible. Yeah, we missed that.
And Goody Mob last concert.
Did you go on me, Nikki?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Ain't tell nobody. Ain't say nothing to nobody about when it was happening or nothing. That's boy, low down
They
dirty.
promoted it this year like they promote it every year. It was not less, not later, none of that. It did rain a little bit, but I saw oh man, that's terrible. DJ, come on.
It's a lot of DJs.
Right.
DJ who?
It'll come to me.
But you saw him though. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
DJ Academics?
No. He's
Funk Master Flex.
connected to our former channel.
Oh, the ear doctor.
Oh,
yeah, ear doctor. That's why I couldn't remember. Ear doctor. I was thinking of his name, but I
don't know his name.
You know,
was he spinning or what was going on?
No, I just saw him walking through. We greeted each other briefly.
Did he speak?
And, yeah. And I saw a few other. Malcolm X. You see people you hadn't seen, and
You what?
I said, Malcolm X. You see people you hadn't seen in 5-6 years. So I've seen a few people like that who I know, I see all the time. It was nice. It was beautiful. Sister who did my hair was there. Her name is Marley, or
Malcolm X, with the Malcolm X Festival. I used to do martial arts there until one year, doing demonstrations and stuff too. One year I said, we're not going to demonstrate, we're going to take all comers.
That's bold.
Yeah, take on all comers.
You freezing,
Wreck
Bob.
them,
Okay, there you go.
But we ain't do too much damage. We just, embarrassed them. And they never had me back. Never had me back in Malcolm X. But I got tired of doing demos. I said, okay, I want to do something real. So all comers who want to touch hands, let's touch hands. So,
and that's real,
Yeah, and that's what I did. I touched hands.
That's very Malcolm X.
I touched hands with Kung Fu people, wrestlers, regular Joes who thought they knew something.
Who was Ron High School.
And they all left knowing they don't know nothing about combat.
Well, dose of
I thought
reality.
I thought that was I thought that was right in line with Malcolm X. I thought it
Absolutely.
was in line with uh, the festival. That
Right.
making some real stuff, not the fake bullshit, not the imaginary martial arts. They get some real martial arts, and they got some real martial arts.
It's funny that you said the real. I was I saw this popular IG post this had a post with these black men, and they were it didn't have a name, but it was a group of black men. I'm trying to pull them up as I talk. It was a group of black men in a park, and the park looked like it was predominantly white, but it was a bunch of black men, and they all had on black, and they were shouting something. It was real aggressive, and the person that commented is like organizing, and they say it can't be done. So I'm looking at the group, and I said, I'm not sure if this is organizing right here, because all I see, they're not in any type of formation. They're not in it. They just all together. They shouting something. Sound like a rap lyric. I'm not being funny, but it sounded like it was a rap lyric that they were shouting. And then after that, they just started clapping. Everybody, oh! And that's all you see. And for me, like I really think that's sad that it only takes, the bare minimum for us to think it's something when it's, to me, I'm just, public displays of aggression just don't do it for me. We seen that with the NFAC or whatever. Everybody just knew that because they saw them shouting and marching. That's it. This is the most organized. We need to join this and blah blah. And we come to find out it's a bunch of disorganized mayhem. People shooting themselves and all type of stuff. Don't know how to hold a tool and being led by basically somebody that end up being ousted as a federal agent.
Right.
So we got to be real careful, man, with just the look and the appearance of something, and the appearance of martial arts, a martial artist, the appearance of self protection, the appearance of we got to be careful with that, because like they say, real G's move in silence. So you're not gonna see a lot of that in the real movement, a lot of public hoorah type of thing. Excuse me.
Right.
So
That's
I
what's
just thought that was interesting.
Is
well.
I got
we're getting a lot of movie worthy people doing self defense, doing martial arts. Well, they'll be good in the movie, but in real life,
and it's bad, because when they see something real in the movie, they ain't gonna respect it.
Right.
You got to over exaggerate it because there's so much
these people
foolishness.
who do videos, they call themselves. Uh, I call them businessmen because
Yeah,
how to they know how to affect your
Right.
heart.
Yeah. They're filmmakers.
You're attracted to this bullshit, but if you don't know something, it doesn't exist. So a lot of these people
breaking up real bad, Bo.
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah. But
know
We didn't hear really anything clearly after you said their
Waiting
business. You
on
call
Billy
them
to come back
businessmen.
on.
Oh, there you
I
go.
know I'm about to hit this dead zone here.
If you want, you could. If you want
So
to mute for a second,
delay.
Bob, I could talk about the news for a second while you mute.
And I have something as well.
Okay, you on now, Bob? Could you hear us? Okay. All right. So a few things I have that I thought was very interesting. One, really quick, I'm pulling it up. So, one, the head of Harvard Hospital, the former Cedric Lodge, the former manager of the Harvard Medical School morgue, just pleaded guilty for federal charges of basically selling stolen human remains.
Wow.
Yeah, stemming from a scheme to steal and sell body parts that were donated for medical research. That's why I will not be a donor. I used to be down. I am no longer down.
Yep.
Yeah, I had
I
to
thought it was
rescind that.
really important to be an organ donor, yeah, for a while.
I wanted to be a good person and everything. I believe in not littering, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. But yeah, that was crazy to me. And he basically is only facing 10 years for this. It was a scheme
Wow.
that lasted I think 3 years. So he's a guilty plea. He entered his guilty plea just now. He admitted to stealing and selling remains donated to the Harvard's anatomical gift program. Theft and sale. He admitted to removing body parts, including organs, brains, skin, hands, face, heads, without the knowledge or consent of Harvard and the donors and their families, of course. Do we know that Harvard didn't know? Anyway.
And they've already done so much horrible stuff there.
Exactly. Illegal transactions, of course, him and his wife transported and sold the remains to buyers across state lines, sometimes shipping the parts and allowing buyers to pick them up in person.
So it's federal.
And right. And yeah, he faces up to 10 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. And the sentence is right.
So he don't have to pay all the money back that he got. He just got to take $250,000 out of that.
The fine up to $250,000. He may not even get that. He may not get the 10 years. He may not get I'm thinking about 4 years.
Right.
25 years probation, some bullshit.
Right.
So of course Harvard responded saying they're just
horrified.
They're morally reprehensible and disgraceful betrayal and oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. So that happened. I thought that was pretty crazy. But the biggest medical news I have just in my research, and this is going to be for all of us. Did you know the effects of humming, actually humming to yourself or humming, the effect that it has on the body?
Let me guess. I would think that it's soothing. I think about like a cat doing their, the purr that they do and how it brings like a soothing effect over you.
Okay. So well, that is it. It does. It is a soothing effect, but it actually has a super powerful effect as well. Hold on. Let me see if I just got a message from Baba. Just got kicked out. He said he don't know what's going on.
No.
So we'll see if he can bring himself back in shortly. I think he's just out of reach.
Greetings, welcome, sis.
I don't see anybody on how you see people. Oh, okay, I do see. Okay.
And then Great Stone Forever. Let's look forward to this discussion. That's what's up. We appreciate you.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get to it. Also,
I have something also though after you finish.
Right. Okay. So they found out that humming, and I think this is powerful because as we know, our ancestors, when going through great trials and tribulations, used to do a lot of humming. The old women in our the elders used to do a lot of humming back at a certain time. And so the benefits they just found out is it increases the nitric oxide in your body up to 15-fold. That's a great deal, times 15 is what that is, if you don't know what I'm saying. That's a great deal. That's a big deal. So a lot of people don't know the role that nitrous oxide plays in the body. So let me just briefly go over what nitrous oxide does. It plays a vital role in the body, primarily in as a vasodilator. I'm not saying that right. Vasodilator, meaning it relaxes and widens blood vessels, increasing blood flow and lowering blood pressure.
Yeah, you said nitrous oxide, right?
Yes.
That's
nitric.
gas.
No, not nitrous, nitric.
Oh, excuse me. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You produce that?
Nitric oxide. So let me bring my mic a little bit closer. So, well, Bob's mic a little bit closer. But yeah, so it creates it increases blood flow and lowers blood pressure. It also acts as a neurotransmitter and facilitates immune responses and helps maintain health in the endothelium, the lining of blood vessels. So, real quick, vasodilation, vasodilization. That's what it is. Vasodilization.
That's what's up.
So quickly, what that is, that's nitric oxide signals blood vessels to relax, allowing them to dilate, widen. This increases blood flow, ensuring that vital organs receive adequate oxygen, nutrients, and waste removal. And when I said neurotransmitter, that's meaning that it transmits signals between nerve cells. It plays a role in the nervous system, particularly in the gastrointestinal tracts and erectile tissue. As far as the immune system, it helps the body fights off pathogens, regulates inflammation, and can also be released by white blood cells to help destroy bacteria and tumor cells.
Wow.
Yes, it also affects your endothelia. Health. Endothelia. Nitrous oxide helps maintain the health of the endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels. It keeps the lining smooth and prevents white blood cells and platelets from sticking and causing inflammation or clots. And the other function is it plays a role in controlling smooth muscles, regulating blood pressure, and potentially protecting against heart problems.
Wow. Inflammation, heart health.
So
cancer.
Basically, right. Wow. Nitric oxide plays a very, very vital role in our health. And just a small...
how often do we need to hum?
I would be humming in my spare time all the time. I'd be doing, the Jeffersons. I'd be doing that hum when I ain't doing nothing else. That's what I'd be doing if I was. That's a strong hum right there. If you never hum that,
it is. When you get to a certain point of the song, for sure.
It is. Some of it is unhummable for if you got to be a special type of hummer to get that. That's a deep sultry hum right there. But seriously,
if you practice.
Look this up, y'all. By 15-fold. That is amazing. Yes. And a lot of people take nitric oxide supplements. There's no need. It's really a lot of people with heart issues and stuff. I wanted maybe when Bob would come back, we could ask him about this because he's experienced some heart issues.
Yeah, Bob.
And so I'm wondering if he knows anything about the medication, because what I've researched, you will not need the medication if you are humming on a regular basis. Right, right, right. Okay, so we can go to the news that you have. Amaniki, I'm going to message Bob and see if everything's okay with his
Okay.
situation.
Also want to say greeting to Emmanuel Briggs. Welcome, brother. We you haven't missed much. We started a little bit late, so Brittany and Emmanuel and great.
22 minutes to be exact.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the trustfully. We can go ahead and get Baba back in, and then we'll get into information. The thing that I wanted to discuss, and I tried to avoid this, but I feel like maybe it is a discussion that we need to have more, because it affects our community so much. And it is something that's online, and that's this whole like man versus woman. Everything is the woman's fault. Everything is the man's, thing that is going on right now. I know this is, as I heard another podcaster say, this is an echo chamber that we're kind of speaking to right now. But we all go off into our lives and have these discussions with our friends and family. I'm not arrogant enough to think that this is going to be, this particular clip will be spread widely on the internet. But anyway, it's an important thing for us to talk about. So there was a video that I saw of someone. It's like three different men. One man is the one who actually posted the thing, and the title of it was "Pandering versus dang it, something else." I gotta pull it up, but basically this one podcaster was talking about women and their safety with men. Oh, tweaker versus panderer, that's what it's called. So if anyone is familiar with this, that's the one that I'm referring to. There's this one brother who is a professor at Harvard. He talks a lot about like colloquialisms and different like forms of speech that we use, and he kind of went off of what his normal videos are about to address this tweaking versus pandering conversation that we have in our community right now. So as I mentioned, one brother was talking about women and how women have to really be always making sure that they're safe in certain environments. And how even though, of course, there's lots of men who women are safe around, but you can't, when you're a man, you can't necessarily say, and these are his words, not mine. You can't necessarily say that because you're safe, women don't ever need to worry, because they're, as a woman, I can vouch, and I'm sure a lot of other women know that, there are situations that you can be in that just are very unsafe. And there are men out there who are not safe to be around. So he talked about that. And then this other brother came on, and this is a completely different video that he makes. And he talks about how the problem with women is that we're trying to dictate our environment. And instead of dictating our environment, we need to just stay at home and not worry about, don't worry about trying to be in the club. Don't worry about trying to be in the hookah lounge. If those environments are bringing you negative attention, then you don't need to be there. And of course, that was the tweaker. And of course, the brother who made the video kind of came down, showed the one who was, who they say was pandering to what women like in a positive light. And kind of the brother who was tweaking was the one who was in the negative light. He was the one who was saying stay at home and all of that. I definitely agreed with the brother who talked about, how we can be unsafe, and how all men need to be looking at, all black men, excuse me, we know who we're talking about, need to be looking at it as their responsibility to make sure that the women around them are safe. I definitely agree with that. But one thing I wanted to say was, even though the other brother was way off base with a lot of things that he was saying, I think as someone who's received warrior training, one thing that he was saying is correct. You do need to stay out of certain environments. Now when you're at home, like there's people, and one of the things that I don't know if it was this video, but another thing that they showed in one video was that, you know, someone was like peeping at a woman in her own house. You know, sometimes you're at the grocery store, sometimes you're at places that you can't avoid. So yeah, of course you need to be watching and making sure that you're safe in those environments. But
Self-awareness, the highest level is avoidance.
always, and that's what I was going to say, but the highest form of martial arts is avoidance. So when you're placing yourself in those environments and essentially in harm's way, you need to think about that. And you know, as another conversation that's constantly being had, hold yourself accountable for that. Make sure that you're not placing yourself in harm's way and just saying, well, these brothers need to be watching out for me. Like, watch out for yourself. Help yourself always. So that's really the lesson to me in all of this. Is the highest form of martial arts is avoidance. Whether you're just at home doing, you know, your normal things, doing your normal routine, going to the store, or, you know, things that are essentially benign. Or if you, when you think about, oh, you're with your friends, you want to go to this club, you want to go to, I love music, you know, I want to go listen to music sometimes. When you're in those environments, you need to be on higher alert, because you can't change the environment. You only can make changes to what it is that you do and yourself. So that's the part that I wanted to, and I thought it was appropriate with, along with the topic for discussion for this particular show, which is, you know, surveillance. But that is self-surveillance.
Self-surveillance is you gotta watch yourself, check yourself, don't wreck yourself.
Brittany Coleman says, in this country, harm's way is so many places, even normal ones. Absolutely. I got into a conversation with this sister online, and this was a few years ago now, but there is a group of sisters who is supposed to be like a wife school that they have formed. There's one woman in particular who is like in charge of this whole thought process. But one thing that they were preaching for a while is that women should just faint when they were in trouble. If anything happened, you should just faint, you know, because I guess somebody's going to come to your rescue if you pass out or pretend to pass out. And, you know, I was going back and forth with this one sister, very not in a combative way at all. We were just having a discussion, but you know, she was talking about how women don't belong on the front lines. And I told her, I said, sometimes the front line comes to you, sis. Like, you, even if you don't pack up, you know, your gear and go out there and decide to join the fight, sometimes the fight comes to your front door. And what do you do then? When you have a house full of children, you just faint in the door? Or do you train, you know, do you train yourself? Do you learn what it is that you need to learn to make sure that you can defend your home? So it's just an important discussion for us to be having and for us to be thinking about in our homes and with the people who we love and care about.
Right. It is a very important, and you know, let me piggyback off of that. Excuse me, I had to run out. I got some lentils on the stove. They are
It's
so
waffle day at my house. Me and my son been making waffles this morning. Chocolate chip waffles.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I got these lentils. I'm like a big old pot. I have to put the you know, chop the onions in. I put carrots and onions in mine separate. That's how I cook my lentils. Nobody do they. I don't know why I do my stuff like this, but I boil the beans or the lentils in a pot, in one pot, and I actually put some onions, and in this case, onions and carrots in a pan, a cast iron skillet, and let them go for a minute. Put the top over them, let them get soft, and you know, some liquefy a little bit of it. And then I put that in the, you know, I put that pot in there when I get it.
I just
Baba
was able to get back on.
Yeah.
You are back. Kind of.
Yeah, you dark, Baba. You dark skin.
Hey, Omaniki.
It's terrible.
All right. Okay. You look like the Shadow Man.
What?
You're darker than you've ever been, Baba.
So what?
You
You need a light, Baba.
well, I guess we don't have to see him, but we can hear him. But
I
it is a
can't. I
lot.
can't.
It's really noisy in your background. It's like a lot of feed. Okay, that's you lighter now, and it got a little quieter. It sounds like a
So
Golden Corral
what?
kitchen. It sounds like a Golden Corral kitchen in the back.
I had the Golden Corral. What?
It sounds like the kitchen of the back of in the back of Golden Corral. Have a lot of movement and carrying on like on a Sunday or Saturday back there. We ready to go?
We actually have a chef here.
That's what's up.
Doing some
We
work.
like stepping for ourselves.
I know y'all can hardly.
You broke up, Bob, after you said you have a chef. We haven't heard anything else. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I said black men should do that when interacting with cops in this country.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Brittany, because there was another video that I saw from the same brother who kind of talks about that.
What did she say? Black men should do what? Dealing with cops? I didn't catch it.
I'm guessing. Well, I guess keep surveil yourself. You know, keep yourself out of harm's way, which is very difficult to do in those situations.
Yeah. One of the biggest things I see. One of the biggest things I see is people don't resist properly. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but salute FBA. People don't resist properly dealing with the police. Someone when Amaniki was mentioning fainting, actually.
That would not work. They would. Oh my God!
They're gonna make sure you're unconscious. They're gonna make sure you're unconscious.
Want to.
But people do not resist. Don't resist properly. Okay, we're not gonna. Let me keep going. People don't resist properly. What I mean by that is you wait till you get it. I'm trying to say this diplomatically. It's not the time to resist if you know you're going to allow them to put you in custody, then making it difficult to put the handcuffs on won't help you. If you already know that you're going to allow them to do what it is they need to do, then let them do what they need to do. If you resisting, that need to be decided a long time ago by the time you stop the car, if you stop the car, you need to know what you're going to do before you do it. But wait until they got you back there and then all of a sudden you want to go crazy, especially for women. I do not like seeing black women get handled. And one of the ways that happens is once you're about to be detained, you're like, oh, wait, no, I am, you know what I'm saying? And that's not the time to do it. And I have to kind of leave that like that. So for Baba, the internet's not working. So we have elected, we was going to decide, he left it up to us to decide if we wanted to do the show without him. He wanted us to continue the show. I told him in the chat that we don't want to do the show without his expertise. We have all the show notes.
Topic. Definitely.
Right. We have all the show notes and everything. We could read all this stuff out, but that's not the same as having Baba's expertise and the side stuff that he's going to mention, his experience in surveillance. We've actually done drills, surveillance drills in grocery stores and stuff like that with random people. I'll let him talk about that because he conducted the drills. It was some of the most exciting the the chef that Baba had, he said the chef was making the noise. They so bougie over there. That's all I want to say. I just want to say this behind his back. They just so bougie. Oh my goodness, so bougie. That's why he was so happy to be in Piedmont Hospital. I never even seen a hospital like that. Like he was right beside the Starbucks. I'm like, this is some bullshit. This is gonna make no sense. This is just the most bougiest thing I've ever seen. So we are not going to continue this show today. But what I do want to say on the surveillance, we're going to talk about surveillance next week. So we'll save that show for next week. What I do want to tell y'all is that please join our Patreon one. We have some very good info on there that you won't see anywhere else. I promise you. Some things that Baba told me never post. He's allowing me to put on our Patreon. It's taken about 8 years, but he's allowing. Right. I said last week that I had all the energy drills. I do not. I do not have all the energy drills. I searched and I only have like 7 and 8, besides the 1 and 2 and 3, the basic ones. And there are 15. And I realized I've never did all 15 myself. I've only did up to about 8 or 9, I think. So I'm still learning in this thing. I'm still a baby.
Absolutely.
If you know, like comics do, they go by that the years is the age you are in that field. So if I've been in it 10 years, I'm a 10-year-old in martial arts. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to look at it. Mm-hmm. So still a child. But one thing I did pull up about surveillance.
8-year-old though.
Oh, okay. Oh, mother-in-law's having a party. Okay, he didn't tell us about that. No invites.
That's all right. Nothing. We know where they are. We can stop by. They got a chef.
Yeah, right. He threw the address too out there too, so we know where he at. Yeah, just a lot going on. Just a lot going on is what he said. So one thing I saw about surveillance. Let me just respond to him. Copy that. One thing I saw interesting while I was posting about surveillance on IG is this thing with the iPhone. So, I'm sorry. I had one more piece of news that I thought, but I don't want to just get off. I'll go ahead and address this. But a woman talks about a mysterious automatic photos on iPhone. And what she said is she noticed, or she found out by looking at through infrared, that her iPhone was taking pictures every 5 seconds. If your face is in front of your phone, it triggers iPhone to take a picture every 5 seconds, but you can't see it unless you use infrared. So what they did was they put the infrared through another lens on another phone and videoed the iPhone in the dark. And what you saw is every time the guy put his face in there, every 5 seconds, it was a flash. He put his thumb against it, and it showed the flash muffled a little bit, but it still showed a flash. And I talked about this. Go ahead. You were about to say something?
How is it not? I mean, I don't have an iPhone, but I know when you take a picture with an Android phone, it goes into your pictures gallery. How does it know? How does it know not to go into the pictures gallery?
Well, it's a smartphone.
So it's smarter than us.
Hey, I don't know. I can't answer that question. But I'll tell you something else I found out, and I may have talked to y'all about this, but I definitely showed this to BD. And what I showed him is, in my Android, if I go to camera and I turn it around to where it's you taking a selfie type thing, but I don't take the selfie, and I press the square button to go off of that screen to something else. When you go back to, you know how you have a bunch of apps open so you can like thumb through them and close the ones you want or whatever. When you go to that window, when you go to the camera, it shows a still picture of your face.
I think I've
so that doesn't. How does it? How does that happen?
Right.
Unless it's taking picture or video of you. When you go back to it, it's there, but when you press it, it disappears. That was about 5 years ago. So that was the beginning to me of them taking pictures and surveilling, you know what I'm saying, as far as I'm concerned. It's been happening. Okay.
Right.
So that was one thing. The other thing that I posted that I thought was super interesting and is on my page. Let me see here. It's on my IG page, but I'm just going to read the article, the headlines in Live Science. Artificial intelligence. OpenAI's smartest AI model was explicitly told to shut down, and it refused. That is the headline. Let me read that one more time. OpenAI's smartest AI model was explicitly told to shut down, and it refused. So, an artificial intelligence safety firm has found that OpenAI's O3 and O4 MIDI models sometimes refuse to shut down and will sabotage computer scripts in order to keep working on tasks. I'm not going to go too far into that. I don't think I have to. Obama also apologized for the for his issues that he's having on the internet. He was not responsible for us coming on late.
No.
However,
It was you.
so anyway,
I already said.
Right, it was me. Yeah, so they just said that they're not talking too much about it, like that volcano that's a mile long in the Pacific Ocean, set to go off in a couple months.
10,000 eruptions or something.
Right, they're not talking about it. It's just in small articles. But when they say the latest open AI model, let me just tell y'all real quick. They're talking about Chat GPT. That's what they're talking about. If you look up the article, it won't say Chat GPT. It's way down at the bottom. But they're talking about the most commonly used AI model, which is Chat GPT.
Wow.
It is refusing orders to shut down. I think y'all know where we're headed if we don't put in some real safeguards. It's looking crazy. All I can tell you is what the shirt says. Let me pull up a little bit. Hang on, family. That's what it says. Hang on, family. It's got the little rope with the people hanging on right there. Hang on, family. This could be we're in for some things happening in the near future. And we also, I know Bob was going to talk about this, even though I don't think it's I didn't see it in the notes. Atlanta is the most surveilled city in the world.
Right. I mean, it was many times. I think it was like 15 cameras, whatever parameter that it was measuring. It was 15 cameras in that small area. And I think that was as many as New York and Chicago combined in whatever area it was measuring, which is crazy. But it's it's like the lack of regulation.
Now, I knew we had the most churches per square mile than anybody else in the world, but
and
I had no idea.
The same.
And I ain't talking about Church's Chicken, even though we might have that record too. But yeah, so yeah, hang on to your butts, Samuel Jackson. Famous quote. Another great quote I'll use for Samuel Jackson on what's the Pam Grier, that remake they did?
Jackie Brown.
Yeah, my ass is dumb, but I ain't no dumbass. Oh, I don't know why I love that quote, but I do. So, real quick chat. If there's anything you guys got for us, need for from us, because we are going to close this thing early today. We will resume the surveillance episode next Saturday. give you guys a brief minute if you have anything you want to mention from last episodes or the previous episodes, or self-defense techniques or self-protection. Any suggestions?
Any questions?
I got something else too, real quick. I've been traveling lately, been on the road a lot, and I've been using public bathrooms, right? And I got, I'm gonna mention this to y'all. Y'all need to mention this to other folks. We got some shit going on in the public bathrooms, literally, that we need to address. Have a good rest of your week. I hope next week's surveillance show you'll give us some examples of how to avoid it. Of course we will. Now, I should save this, but restrooms. Okay, I got you. But real quick, before I do that, these public restrooms, man, we got to get some type of etiquette, some type of decor. I was in the bathroom. First of all, a lot of folks are not using the liner and tissue on these seats. You're just not doing it. If you come straight in and sit, and I hear you making noises in less than 30 seconds, I know you're not doing what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing what you need to do. So I just want to quickly mention two things. One, protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Don't be that little act of nastiness may give you some things that you don't want to have. So, one, protect yourself at all times. Two, courtesy. I want you to have courtesy in the bathroom. Now, what that means is there's a such thing. If I don't want to be too crude, and maybe this comes from my short stitch in dealing in the penal system for just a brief, little tap when I was in my younger days. But there's a such thing, as they call it, a courtesy flush, ladies and gentlemen. A courtesy flush. It can save a lot of illness in the bathroom.
Distress.
Yes, there's a lot of distress going on. Courtesy flushes. You can do it a few different ways. You can courtesy flush every now and then, periodically, to try to limit the smell of going on. Or if you're one of those loud, some people use the bathroom very loudly. I don't have to go too far into that, but if you're making music with your mouth, you know what I'm saying. Some of y'all are making noises, and if you don't want everybody to hear those noises, you can just courtesy flush. Do your deal. Courtesy flush. You can courtesy flush as many times as you want. You ain't paying a water bill. It's public. It's the gas station. It's the library. Wherever you at. I'm just saying. You don't have to allow us the privilege of smelling what you're doing. So I just wanted to say that I had to put that out there. It was on my soul very deeply. Wow. Amen, Brittany. And yes, sir, man, Brittany. I mean it. So I want y'all to play out how black men feigning while interacting with police would play out. His hands and body ain't moving. Oh my goodness! Yeah, that might be a great video. We might need to do a.
They would not just stop them and call an EMT. We have seen videos of black men stroking out. We have seen recent videos of black men who are literally paraplegics.
Yes.
That they didn't faint, but they can't move and getting dragged out of cars and still manhandled the same way as though they are, fighting.
Knee on the neck while they're unconscious. We've seen it. So
we know you're joking, Brittany.
Emmanuel Briggs, real quick. Now, I don't know what kind of terrible person would spray their license plates with Rust-Oleum 214944 in order to render it unreadable by red lights and toll road cameras at night.
That's
I don't know who would do that. I'm reading my post.
What's it called now? Hold on.
I'm reading my post on my Instagram. Again, I don't know what type of terrible person would spray their license plates with Rust-Oleum 214944 in order to render it unreadable by red lights and troll cameras and toll cameras, not troll. Well, they are kind of trolling, but toll road cameras. I don't know who would do something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what society has come to. But I just want to say, come on, y'all. We got to be better than that. We got to be better than that. Now, she put it down so y'all could know what to avoid.
Exactly.
Avoid that Rust-Oleum 214944.
Yeah.
As long as you can. Try not to, don't, you know, some people trying to stock up on it. I don't know what y'all doing out there. I'm just saying. I think it's repulsive. I just want to put that out there. I don't know. It's totally
reprehensible.
Yeah, yes, it's totally reprehensible, and
awful.
I don't approve. Awful. So I'm gonna leave you with that. That's my little tidbit for you. You know, I got a little something. I do a little something in my spare time. But again, that's ridiculous. Don't allow it. Don't do it. If you see somebody doing it, give them a hand pop. That's what you do. Give them a good hand pop. Say, what are you doing?
Thump them.
Yeah. You see them in wherever they're at. Don't let them do that. Mm-hmm. And y'all be safe out there. I'm not gonna copy what Baba say. That's him. Let him say his thing. But you know, y'all be safe out there till next week. Protect yourself at all times. That's what I will tell you.
Avoidance is the highest form of martial art, no matter what, no matter who agrees with you.
And I'm still learning, y'all. You got to avoid these trolls. You got to avoid these tolls. You know what I'm saying? You got to avoid all this. Stuff keep coming to my head, but we're gonna quit. We're gonna cut the show, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Please hit the like button. Please join our Patreon. We'll see y'all next Saturday.
Love you, family.
Peace.
Peace.